So I really love Jill Scott's new album.
I have not listened to it
It's
yet.
so I listened to
I
the
heard it was really
New
good
York
though.
Fashion Week, like getting ready for like the first day of shows. Like I was like, beautiful, thank you, Jill, because I needed this energy for the first day of Fashion
Yes.
Week shows. Oh my god, it was like so. It feels high vibrational. It feels sensual. It feels powerful. It feels real. It feels raw. I think this energy is a shift that we needed in music. Like we really needed to shift. I hate to say that we're listening to like a lot of low vibrational music, but
I mean, you're not wrong.
it just feels like that song "Don't Play with It." She's like she's so funny when she sings it. It sounds hard, but when I say it, it sounds weird. She's like she's like, "Squeeze my meat." She's like, "Sweet like my grandma's yams with the marshmallows on top, pineapples and candy pecans." Come on.
Hey.
It just sounds so black,
Yeah.
unapologetically black, and so
Yeah.
like it just sound black. And she said she made that song. She said, "Y'all not loving right. I found out that y'all not really loving right, and that's not sitting well in my spirit. I need y'all to like, do I got to give y'all a crash course on how to love correctly?" And when she described the song, when I listened to it back, I'm like, oh damn, because a lot of it went over my head. But
Yeah.
now I'm like, she ate that. But
Yeah,
it's like
exactly. Yeah.
pineapples and candy pecans. Like, that's crazy. So I'm
Yeah.
loving her right now. Jill Scott, of course, Don Tolliver, ASAP Rocky. Did you listen to Don't Be Dumb?
No. I'm not
Nigga.
I'm not really I've never really been an ASAP fan for real. I haven't. I won't lie.
Whiskey?
It's really
That's like
good.
my whiskey is like my that's been my vibe recently, especially on like
Okay.
a rainy day. That's like a good walking to the grocery store on a rainy day vibe song.
Okay.
Like you just chilling. I'm loving this right now. Um, I only heard her on the Kendrick and Baby Keem song, but Momo Boyd.
Mama Boy?
Yes,
I
Momo
don't know you
Boyd.
already.
I guess I'm gonna say Baby Keem. I like Baby
Heavy
Keem.
Keem? Okay, okay, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Um, it's gonna sound random, but Vince Staples.
Okay.
I've been listening to North North a lot. Magic, feeling like I'm float to this and is it magic?
Okay, okay,
Eh,
okay.
Magic's been a vibe for me recently. I love Magic. Can you imagine
I feel
money
like
in
I
a
have not been
casket?
listening to a lot of new music for that reason you said, like a lot of music, because we listen to a lot of low vibration of music, and I feel like I'll kind of stop listening to new music, or sometimes I'll take a break from just not listening to music, but
It's
like
so much new
sometimes I need
music.
to not hear
It's
all this shit in my
overwhelming.
brain that I don't want to hear. Like the other day, I was sitting at the table, my friend comes up rapping some underground shit that I've been listening to too. I'm like, but I do not want to hear this right now. All this low vibration shit you speaking right now. Oh my God,
Yeah, it's a
please, I'm
time
trying to
and a
study.
place.
Lord.
It's a time and a place, and also, I think I've been really liking the It's random because I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions about Sexy Red,
Hmm.
but that new song, if you want it, if you want it, if you want, I was like, hold up on the couch.
It's
They
a little
like,
high. It's a little
ouch.
high. I ain't
I
gonna
was like,
lie.
hold up. I kind of
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
actually know that. Actually, I'm like, she does that every few songs she releases. Where like every few songs, I'm like, what's that one?
Hmm.
Because I tried to, I when she first came out, I was like, ew, gross, no, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But then I heard Get It Sexy, and I was like, nigga, what the fuck? This is straight out of 2002. What are we doing right now? No, like actually, I think it was so surprising on my 2025 like Apple Music Rap. That was actually like on my like top,
Sexy Red.
like on my like top songs of the
Cause
year, and I said, well,
she
damn.
got a couple jams. Like she
Ugh.
just live out. Like I get it. I get
Uh-oh.
it. I ain't mad at
I'm
it.
like, do I put these on?
Yes,
Do I
yes,
put
yes, yes,
put the binoculars on?
yes, yes.
LOL. Wait, this is crazy. How did? What? Okay,
I got you.
I think I did. I
There
do
you
it.
go. You got it.
Okay. Uh oh. Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm on mute. I'm on mute. Hello, 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 hello.
I can hear you.
Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. I sounded a little low though for some reason. I don't like that. Is it because of Jill Scott? This is one of your favorite songs right here. We can't listen to it too long. We won't get copyrighted. I might already got copyrighted a couple times
Uh
already.
oh.
It's all right though.
I did listen to your first episode, and I was like, oh, it's a lot of music in here. Is he allowed to?
Yeah, just like whatever happens.
Yeah.
It's really just like starting out. It's like I don't want to think too deep into all of the technicalities quite yet.
Yeah.
You know, unless
That's
somebody
real.
is coming for me, they come for me. It's what it is.
Just gotta start.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Selfisinfinite podcast. It's your host, Shamir Chapman, and I appreciate y'all tuning in today. Today I have a really special guest. I actually have a whole little thing for introduction.
Uh-oh.
I have a whole little intro. Oh my god. Hopefully I didn't lose it.
Oh, God.
Hopefully I didn't lose it.
I've never been on this side of things before. I'm like, what is it?
So today I have a really special guest.
Uh-oh.
Not only is she a beautiful black queen, not only do we have a beautiful black queen today, but we have a multimedia fashion journalist, also entertainment journalist. She's based in Atlanta, Georgia. She's an editor and a writer as well. Specifically a writer and editor for the brand F&W Style.
Yes.
Yes.
They have a fashion blog called F&W Girl, and I am the writer and editor of that blog.
And also, she's formerly the fashion editor at 77 magazine as well, too.
Yes.
Okay. I told you I did a little homework, just a little bit. And you contributed to Career Master magazine.
Career Master magazine. I've been contributing to them for a few years.
Yes.
And recently, Essence Girls United.
That's what's up. So today we have Asia with us.
Hello, everyone.
I appreciate you coming on today. I really appreciate it.
People are like, what's wrong with her? I'm just like not used to being on this side of things.
On the other side of things.
As the journalist, as the writer, as the editor, I'm usually putting a mic in everyone's faces like, hey, can I get a quote? People are like, oh, people would ask me questions now.
Yes. You do make some amazing things. I think it's really cool, really interesting. That's why I wanted to have you on. And like, well, first I want to ask, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been a journalist?
Oh, God. I started the day I actually proclaimed that I was a journalist. It was, I think it was in June or July 2023, 2024. I think it was actually 2023. I had just wrapped up a fashion internship, and my project throughout my internship was me finishing and launching the fashion blog. So I came on the F&W Style to basically redo their entire blog because it was pretty bad when I got there. And I revamped the whole thing, graphic design, all the articles right now that are on that blog are all me.
Yes.
So I came on to do that, but I just kind of, without even really understanding what fashion journalism was, I just knew that this is what I am. I'm still learning what this means, but I know that this sounds right and this feels right for me. It was someday like June, and I went to a fashion event that I was invited to. Usually I'm invited to fashion events to work them, actually work backstage or run around and do stuff. But to be on the side where I was invited just to experience, and I at that time I was heavy in my content creator bag. So I filmed the whole show, edited it up for the designer, posted it, tagged him, wrote a little cute little caption about what the show was about. I even wrote up I just wrote up something made this cute little graphic on Canva of I got the brand's logo, and then I put by me for, I wrote up a 1 paragraph summary of the show. And I just was oh, okay, this feels cool. This feels right. Onto there, I got my cousin is actually editor of Career Master magazine, and I called her for advice because she had her own magazine at one point, was editor at the magazine. I just called her for advice, asked her to read my work. She had any tips for me as I'm growing as a writer, and she said, okay, well, we need a fashion freelancer for the magazine. You want to submit your work for the December 2023 issue? And I was like, okay. It was called Slay the Holidays. It's a holiday fashion piece. And I was so geeked because it was my first time in a physical magazine. And it's black owned, black woman led, so that was cool. From there, I just kept writing. I became really obsessed with the physical print media. At one point I was just collecting them, but then I just got obsessed with the pages of Vogue and Harper's Bazaar, my favorite publications, the depth and the detail that goes into them, and I started studying them, kept writing, and then I met the former editor-in-chief for 77 at a fashion event. I was helping out designer, a friend that's a designer, Elijah Audrey of How High to Fly, and I was like just helping him with certain things for the brand and for the getting ready for the fashion show. And I was talking about, I wrote an article. We were talking about Louis Vuitton and Pharrell. And I was like, I wrote about that recently, about like men's fashion and something like that. And then the editor went, "You right?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm a fashion journalist." And that's when by that time, it maybe been like a year, and I've actually been comfortable saying that.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, I run a magazine," and I was like, "Shut up! I know what magazine it is." And I was like, "Is it 77?" I was like, "Oh my god, I love you guys!" Da, 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 da. And got connected, got on, wrote some great pieces for 77, and now I'm a contributor for Advisor magazine, and I been to a few Essence events, got connected with their editor for Essence Girls United, which is basically like the teen Vogue of Essence. And I write for write for them. It's been like a whirlwind of just
Yes.
consistent writing and finding stories. And I think, yeah, like I didn't even really understand what I was getting into. But the more and more I fall into it, I just discover something new every day. And it was just going to that one fashion show, just like saying I'm a fashion journalist, and meeting someone there like, "Oh, I'm a journalist too," and I was like, "Uh-oh," and she's like, "Oh no, like you're already doing it, like you're doing
Yeah.
great," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, maybe I'm,"
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just been a whirlwind of consistent articles, and
Yes.
now we're
It's
transitioning onto
beautiful.
like on-screen videos too. So it's been fun.
That's what's up. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's nice. I feel like well, I want to ask what I guess like did that first show you went to, is that kind of what got you, I guess, like at that point, like did you want to get into journalism, or have you always been wanting to do journalism, or have you always been into fashion? Like how did you get, I guess, how did you get into fashion journalism? It was in a mix of you being into journalism and then just kind of happening to fall into fashion, or
Yeah, so it's it's really the epitome and the manifestation of what happens when you just like go after every single thing that interests you and how it leads you in the direction you're supposed to be. So when I was younger, I was a dancer, I was a writer, I was a singer, I was an actress. I was doing a lot. And then I fell into fashion. I wanted to be a model at one point, and I became obsessed with fashion magazines and like luxury brands. And my introduction to fashion was my mom having so many designer bags. My mom's a military veteran, so she's traveled all around the world, brought back vintage pieces from all around the world. So she would say, "Go in the room and get my purse." And I look and be like, "Which one?" It's like 60 of them. And my earliest introduction to luxury was she had a lot of Gucci bags. She had a lot of Coach bags. Those are her favorites. She's not a fan of like the modern stuff. She like really likes the old school stuff. So, and I now literally the bag I brought in is one of her the vintage Coach bags I took from my mom. Shout out to my mom. Um, yeah, so that was my first introduction, and then like my mom is a seamstress, and my granny's a seamstress and a tailor. So I've always like been introduced to like women in my life taking something apart and putting it back together to their bodies. My mom has ripped open clothing and added on fabric. I've seen my granny like take measurements for people and alter their things. So subconsciously not realizing that I was already in it. And then when I got into high school, I really became with like fashion magazines, and I knew I was gonna have something to do with the fashion magazine. I didn't know what an editor was. I didn't know when I was in 2016 in my bedroom cutting up Louis Vuitton and Marc Jacobs and Burberry and Dior signs and putting them on my wall. I didn't know what
it just
that meant
something that
yet.
you like doing.
Yeah, and then I was like, I think I literally said my senior quote for high school was, "One day I'm gonna be on the cover of Vogue." That was literally my senior quote. Not as like literally that was just like me, like I'm gonna be on the cover of Vogue. And then proclaiming that, I went on to say, okay, I want to be an editor of Vogue. I don't really know what an editor is yet, but I knew I wanted to do that. So I moved to Atlanta. I was an English major, and I just knew I wanted to write. I knew when I was picking my major, it has to be something with either performance or writing. Originally, I wanted to go to school for performance, like theater and television performance. My parents were like, "No, one, it's too far, and no, you need like a real major." So I was like, okay, I guess I'll do writing.
Mhm.
I did writing. English just wasn't hitting for me. The classes I was also at Georgia State Perimeter College,
Oh, nice. I went to Georgia too.
and
Which one? Clarkson or
Clarkston.
I enjoy Clarkson.
Clarkston, yes. And I barely passed American Lit, and I said something ain't right here. And then my advisor was like, "So next is British Lit." I said,
Hell no.
I barely passed American Lit. I can't do British Lit. She said, "Well, what do you want to do?" I was like, "Well, I like to talk to people. I like to interview. I like to be on camera. I like to write. I like to write about fashion shows and like trends and da da da." She's like, "Okay, so it sounds like you probably need to switch to journalism." And I was like, "No," like, because I was just like thinking journalism was broadcast television, news, CNN.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was just this whole avenue that I'm in right now. So I
Mhm.
was like, okay, I know I want to blend writing for fashion and my love for fashion. The time I was styling, I started off working retail and then also as a wardrobe stylist, like on photo shoots. Even I did some personal styling as well. And I was like, okay, how do I blend my love for like styling and editorial and writing? How do I do that? And learned about I could write about fashion shows and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And I wrote the fashion blog. So I think I didn't know what fashion. I didn't know what fashion journalism was when I was with my 2016 spring Vogue issue, and in my bedroom in Hinesville, Georgia. I didn't know, but as I just kept going into okay, like let's try styling, let's try creative directing, let's learn about the fabrics, let's learn about the trends, let's like learn about spring, summer, fall, winter. Like let's as I kept learning, I just kind of knew I just was curious. I was like, well, let me just write something about this. And then I learned that, oh, this is journalism and it's fashion journalism. I'm like, oh, that's a thing. And there's majors for that. In London, or like there's like a Vogue College of Design, like they have a fashion journalism major. So I think I just started off with just me being curious in everything that I love. And when I got into modeling, I got into creative directing. And then I got into creative directing. I got into styling, got into styling.
Yes.
I
Oh
wanted to write. And
goodness.
then I got into content creation. I got into marketing. I got into copywriting. And then as my next step, then I didn't even realize all these things that I was doing. I spoke to an editor of I think it was the Daily Front Row, and I was asking her like, okay, well, like, what do you do? How did you get here? Da, 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 da. Asking her like advice. She was like, you have to be able to do everything. You have to be able to do everyone's job, and that is what an editor is. And I was always confused as to why do I want to do marketing and copywriting and styling and photography and set design and creative direction. That's what being an editor is. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm an editor.
Mhm.
So I think it's just tapping into all the avenues of creativity that's kind of like led me here. So I've always had a love for fashion in a different way and a love for writing in a different way. I started off with poetry, creative writing, and just understanding that you could blend both, and that's like a whole other career path. I had no idea it existed, and now I'm here.
Yes.
Yes,
That's really nice, Asia. That's really cool.
thanks.
You've had like a real journey to get to this point.
Ooh, quite a
And
journey.
and I think outside looking in, a lot of people may think like she's really successful, like she's done so much. And maybe you on the other side, you may feel like I'm just barely scratching the surface. You know, there's so much for me coming forward. I guess my question is, like, how do you define success? You know, how do you define like, I guess, what does success look like to you? You know, is it just growth? Is it just having a dream and a desire and completing it, or I guess what is success to you?
Mm, when I hear the word success, what comes up for me is high vibrational and peace. I've been really into like the terminology and the quantum physics, if you will, of like high
Yes,
vibrations. And
yes, yes,
I think
yes.
success is very up and down. It's like success isn't something tangible. I think it's something internal. I
Hmm.
think success is a lot like love. It's not tangible. Like you can't
Yes.
touch it. And even though like on paper, it's like, oh, you're successful. You have like 4 or 5 articles on Essence Girls United. Like,
Hmm.
you're successful. And I'm like, ooh, but I'm
Hmm.
still trying to figure out, like, contemplating this weekend, like, what's the next step for me? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Because I feel myself growing and evolving, and that's scary. When you are in a position and you feel like you're about to slowly but surely grow out of that position, and it feels scary. But I think success is sitting with every single win you get and preparing for the next one, but not being dismissive. So I think as creatives, we often dismiss each success we get in preparation for the next one.
I agree.
So I think success is something that's not tangible. I think it's something that is something you have to feel with a sense of peace and comfortability of like, I just had this win. This is where I was last month. This is where I am now. Every day I'm doing 1% better. Some days I'm gonna fall off, and some days I'm gonna really hit it hard. Those are just the ebbs and flows. I think success is just like continuing. I think it's continuing to push forward, and the piece that the next day may not look like the last. So I think as long as you keep going, you're always working on something. You're always pushing a passion project forward or pushing someone's project forward. I think that's success. I think it becomes failure when you just like stop. Like
Yeah,
you can only fail if you stop.
exactly.
So yeah.
I agree. I feel like us as creatives, it's so easy, like you said, to dismiss ourselves and dismiss our accomplishments, because we just want to keep moving forward. Or we see ourselves so far, our potential. But I think, like, I agree. I think it's important to, still like pat ourselves on the back, for those accomplishments because they're not minor. We are doing big things. Like you are doing some amazing things.
Thanks.
But at the same time, it's
Yeah.
important, I guess, to stay humble and remember where we're trying to go, where we're trying to get to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. So you're not from Atlanta.
I am not from here. I'm a transplant. I am a transplant. Yes, I am.
No.
I'm a transplant, guys.
No, it's okay. Well, how long have you lived in Atlanta for?
I moved here.
Well, first, where you originally from?
Um, I am a military brat.
Okay.
So I was born in Savannah, Georgia,
Okay.
because I was a preemie. It's a preemie baby. My parents, I believe, lived Fort Stewart, Georgia. It's like a military base, Hinesville, Georgia, really small,
Okay. Okay.
small military town. It's Fort Stewart, like 45 minutes away from Savannah. I was born in Savannah. We lived in Hinesville, Georgia, and then my mom got remarried into the military. So then we moved to Columbus, Georgia, which is Fort Benning. We moved to Kansas for like an awkward summer. That was like Fort Riley, I think. And then we moved to Montgomery, Alabama, because my mom wanted to be closer to her family. That's where like she wanted her house. Got divorced, and my mom decided that we were coming back to Georgia, so we moved back to Hinesville, Georgia. Thank God my mom, even though she was married, she kept ownership of her house. Thank God, because when the divorce happened, we got to move back in our house that she owned. So we moved back to Hinesville. I did high school there, and I was like, it's like a really small, nothing town, like not even a Target, like a TJ Maxx, a Kroger, a Walmart, and a sushi spot.
That's how I felt
And
when I was in Kansas myself.
it's just nothing. So to do anything fun, like you literally have to go to Savannah or Pooler to do anything. And I was like, yeah, definitely not staying here. Stayed there for a year. I was at like Savannah Tech for a year, and then my friends were like, "Come to Georgia State," and I was like, "Okay." So I came to Atlanta in March of 2021. So it's been about 5 years since I moved here.
Nice. How
Whew.
do you feel like Atlanta has had like an impact on your life? I guess like, how do you feel? How has the culture kind of, I guess, shifted you and things that you do creatively and the way that you see things?
Yeah.
The culture in Atlanta, whatnot. Like, how do you see things? In that perspective.
I think Atlanta allowed me to get in touch with my blackness. Being a military brat and raised by my mom, she was I don't want to say she's whitewashed, but we grew up very black, very southern. But there were some things that were like that type of black you're not. Like you don't wear slides out of the house. You don't walk outside with this on your head. You don't walk outside like that. You don't talk like that. You don't like you're not like those other kids. So then I was like, oh, okay, like this is how I present myself. And at school, especially in Montgomery, it was like a culture shock because I'm in like these military towns with like Asians, Hispanics, black kids, white kids, it's everybody. So I got so comfortable to like diverse environments. When I got in the classroom with like black kids and like a girl screaming, and I'm like, she's like, "You got something to say? You want to fight?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, that's ghetto."
Yeah.
That's how my mom told me to talk. Like, That's so ghetto. Oh my
Uh,
God. Like, that's just not right. Like, the kids are looking at me crazy because they like, hey, I can go to the bathroom. And I'm like, may I please use the restroom? And they're like, who the fuck is this bitch?
who does
And
that
I'm
she think
like,
she is?
that's just how my mom taught me how to
Yeah.
be. So, and then I kind of like had this really weird sense of anti-blackness a little bit.
Mhm.
So coming to Atlanta and not only allowed me to appreciate other forms of blackness, but also like come to terms with my own and understanding of how like certain things that our parents were teaching us were unintentionally anti-black or colorist or texturist.
Mhm.
And I had no idea. Like the first time I experienced texturism was from my mom. I didn't know that like I was supposed to like my naturally curly hair.
Yeah.
I was just told that I get a perm, my hair is straight, my hair is too much, it's thick, it's coarse, you don't do all that. Coming to Atlanta, seeing the wig culture and seeing like different types of black hair, like the locks and like the braids and the wigs, I was like, oh, this is this is new. This is
Yeah.
interesting. Coming to Atlanta, I tried the wigs. I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to wear my hair. I want to have a silk press, and I want to have my natural hair. I want to have braids. Just seeing so many different types of culture. Like actually appreciating it and like loving it and just kind of like understanding of where certain viewpoints I came from helped me be a better creative because it broadened my scope. I had like a very like fine line of like what I like put my attention towards, and coming to Atlanta like really broadened my scope of like how everything is bigger than us. And
Yeah.
like I've always been very proudly black. I've always been very vocal. Like I was the kid who like refused to stand up and during the Pledge of Allegiance, and a teacher said something back. I'm like, well, Trayvon Martin and Breonna.
Yeah.
I was the kid that was like going back and forth. Like I'm not doing it. So I've always had a sense of like fighting for my blackness and having a sense of pride of like our ancestors fought for so much.
Yes.
And for us to even be in this school right now is because of our ancestors. And I've always carried like a sense of pride but also a sense of rigid thought process of how I should move in the world because of the blood that our ancestors shed. I need to show up this way.
Yes.
But coming to Atlanta, I got to see how everyone just shows up as themselves, and that in itself is reflective of our ancestors of just being yourself authentic. Like we don't need to assimilate. It was very similar. Like I think how my mom raised me was really similar to Tom on Boondocks. Like do with this, wear your hair straight,
Yeah.
just like this, talk like this, act like this, and everything will be fine. And when I got here and got to see so many people just being authentically themselves, be successful, and live great lives, I was like, oh, I don't have to assimilate.
Yeah.
I could just be me, and I could see everyone for who they are, and it also allowed me to see my mother from a different lens. It's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Because you were raised at this time and this in this town, you probably experienced ABCD, and that's why you taught me this, and that's how it's affected this growing up. And now that I can see, I took a step back from the mirror, I can navigate differently, and it taught me to look for different things in creativity and not be so judgmental or not look at things so like limiting when we're all like great in a sense of our diversity and our range. So I think moving to Atlanta really forced me to like come to terms with like, oh, like there's more than one type of black, and all of it's beautiful and all of it's important, and all of it is deserves to be accepted. And yeah, we can hold each other accountable. We can say, hey, come on now, like not here, like relax, chill. And there's also times where it's like sometimes moments is like, I don't know if I can say this, but niggas is gonna be niggas, and that's fine. And I love to say that. At first, I'd be like, oh my god, but now I'm like, yeah, niggas is niggas, and we gonna be niggas whenever we want to be niggas, and that's fine. So I think that's kind of like the best thing that I've taken from Atlanta is like really coming to terms with coming to terms with my blackness, and as I trend, like if I like eventually I want to move to New York and London, making sure that I keep that with me as I go on. And I'm happy I came here first before anywhere else because I feel like I would have really struggled with that. Like I remember I was like, I think I dated someone who was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not really in touch with like black culture, and I'm like, you black, but you're not in touch with black culture. And that was when I realized, I said, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I need someone cultured. But I remember I was the uncultured, and I
Yeah.
had friends that were uncultured, and I'm happy that coming here, you got to not only become cultured, but understand that like everyone's type of black culture is like different. You
Yeah.
got the southern black culture, you got the northern black culture, you got the west black culture, like, and it's so different, but it's also beautiful, and like kind of turns like my southern black culture Gullah Geechee roots, and I'm
Yes,
loving
yes,
that
yes.
and taking that with me everywhere, and knowing that it's okay. Like seeing Ryan Coogler be so unapologetically black everywhere he
Mm-hmm.
goes, I'm like, oh, like beautiful. And like he was just here a few years ago filming Black Panther, and he was
Mm-hmm.
still unapologetically black. And now he's Oscar nominated. He's still unapologetically black. So knowing that it's okay, I think getting to see so many wide ranges of every type of woman, every type of man, every type of everybody, that was really grateful. I was really grateful to see that, and it helps me write better, especially since now I'm so dedicated to really writing about black culture and black stories because
Yes,
our stories don't get covered enough. So
exactly.
I think also Atlanta solidified my voice to I want to give my voice to our people because that's who really deserves it. So
Exactly.
yeah.
I agree. I think it's like it's easy to just assimilate or just fall into the norms of what you should be doing or how you should act or or just that thing of just having to switch for somebody else. I think it's important that we do embrace our blackness, and I feel like you like coming to Atlanta and what you explained kind of seemed like that kind of made you or embrace your true self, I guess you could say, because I
Yeah.
feel like we're not we're negligent, negligent. I forgot how to fucking say it.
Negligent.
Yes. If we are, and then to our black culture, then we're like doing a disservice to ourselves. We're doing a disservice to our ancestors, doing a disservice to our parents. It's like we're not being who we are, and more so we're just following under this Eurocentric, influence. So
Mm-hmm.
I do commend you on trying to talk more about black art as a whole, because I feel like you said it's not covered enough.
I mean, I think fashion has always been so prominent in our culture because thinking about like fashion was originally made to order, and who was making clothes? Black women.
Mm-hmm.
They were the tailors and seamstresses. So this lineage has been in our families for such a long time, and I need to do my due diligence of really talking to my mom and my grandmother to know who taught you how to sew. Because I think Gen Zs, we get so caught up in our world and we separate ourselves as Gen Zs and the boomers and elders.
Mm-hmm.
We forget to really go back and learn our history. If the family members aren't telling you, we aren't doing due diligence to go learn our history. Like I just actually learned, um, I had this forever journal. There was one made by a black woman who, um, I think she lost her. I believe she lost her 24-year-old daughter, or oh, no, it was a 24-year woman. I think she passed away, and the child like didn't know a lot about the life and the journey. So she made this journal to like basically document like who are my grandparents, great grandparents, cousins, second cousins, like document all these things. And I opened it, and the first thing I asked was, "Mom, what was my grandmother's name?" Because my mom, like, she passed away before I was born, so she didn't talk about it. So she was like, her name was Ruthie Mae, and I'm like, Ruthie Mae, it's so southern and black. I love it. And just
Yes.
to even know that, I'm like, what was granddaddy's name? She said, Willie. She said Willie Daniel, and I'm like, oh, Willie Daniel, that's interesting. And the fact that I had never even asked that yet. There's so much in terms of fashion. Okay, Granny, I know my grandmother taught my mom how to sew, but who taught her how to sew? Then who taught her how to sew? And then my granny has had her shop since I've been alive. So I'm like, okay, who taught my granny how to sew? You
Mm-hmm.
know, all these things that are like, I feel they're ancestral because the fact that I could go to a sewing machine, I was telling you before the camera started rolling, I was cutting up my blazer. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that I even know that I could like cut a blazer in half and like hem it this way and rip open the fabric on the inside that's making me uncomfortable and remake it my way, felt like that was ancestral.
Yeah.
Like there's just certain creative things that come to me. It feels like, oh, this is passed down. And for some people, it's not passed down. And I think that's okay. A lot of people think that, like, oh, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. I think style and fashion is definitely, it's a part of it that is learned. There's a part of it that is just like, it's in you.
Yeah.
But I think it's in everyone if you just tap in with yourself. I think in relation to black culture, we've always been the change makers. We've always been the taste makers. We've always been the foundation of trends. I think recently there's been trending of people are saying like, "Oh, I have a JFK style." People are like, "JFK style is black style. It's just Tupac and like LL Cool J and da, 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 da.
Yes.
Like it's like JFK style is. I mean, he. I think it was JFK cool with the black people? Which side was
I
JFK
believe
on?
so. I
No,
don't think none of the white folks cool with black folks for real, to be
I mean that's real.
honest.
I think I
To a
can't.
degree, maybe he was showing, but I
Yeah,
don't think he was realistically.
it's like either they're like they're around black people, so they like take some of their style, or they envy and they take the style. Either way it goes, they're taking the style, and then they get praised for like, oh, like JFK has such a great style. Like that's black
Yeah.
style. That's just black '90s style. And then people are now like trying to recreate the JFK style. You're recreating
You
black
forget
style.
the
The people
origins, yeah, and people
of
forget everything comes from black people.
yeah, and it's so much of I think certain people deal with like data and numbers and like tangible things when like our history is so intangible and it's had to have been for us. So I think that's why a lot of the credibility is taken away from black people when it comes to fashion because a lot of the stuff is it's documented in history, but it's not documented the way white people's history is because we have to actually search for it because a lot of our stuff isn't documented because it couldn't be.
Or it was documented in Eurocentric history, and from that perspective, that
Everything in
happens,
Eurocentric history is documented because when they had the resources and the funding to do so, and they also had people who were intelligent enough to do so, and the pull enough to put certain things in certain textbooks and certain things like that. We didn't have that. We had to tell our own stories that weren't on Barnes and Noble shelves. Like we had to tell our own stories that weren't on shelves and weren't like massively publicated. You usually have to like find it and find it. Like Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings is a banned book. But Fifty Shades of Grey is still on the shelf, and they say it's banned because of sexual violence and stuff like that. 50 Shades of Grey, she gets to say that. Okay, interesting, and you see who has certain pull in certain places, and I think in terms of fashion, a lot of our a lot of our due diligence to fashion gets so dismayed because well we've had to hide our stories for safety. I just learned last night someone was like, wait till you hear why black people don't like to split the pole, and I'm like, that I'm faithful. Like, don't do it. Like, but I never knew where it came from, and I'm learning that like, well, before like light pollution and all these things, like when our ancestors were slaves, it was pitch black dark at night. Like you know how it's dark now, you can kind of still see. It was pitch black dark, so you stayed in a straight line. If you split the pole, someone could veer off and never be found again because it was that dark. And that's they had strategy: stay in line, don't split trees. So that's why people like don't split the pole. And I've always wondered why we do that.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, that's superstitious,
People
and
so serious about that shit too.
it's beyond superstition. It's just something ancestral.
Yeah.
Like Taraji P Henson said, why do you think that black people run? Why do you think we run when we laugh? And I never thought about that because we thought that joy was like a bad thing. So if we laugh, if the slave master saw us having joy, we would run away. They run away because we're about to get hit. And it's just so many things that are ancestral in our blood that white people don't have.
Exactly.
And or even if there's some things that they do have, like the entitlement, it's just in their blood.
Yeah.
And I think that we have I think that's why we need to like get back to history. And as our ancestors are, unfortunately, like they're getting older, they need their rest. They aren't able to move and talk as much as they used to. We really need to pull these stories out of them because once you know your story, your history, and where you come from, I think you can accurately know where you're going and know yourself. And to walk in your authentic fashion story, you have to know your story and know your ancestors' story. So I think as I've learned more about my mom, learned more about my granny, and just even knowing more about myself and like certain traumas, like maybe I haven't healed from that. Maybe I do need to talk to my therapist about that again. I learned so much more about myself that allows me to show up differently in the world. Like I think about how I dressed when I first moved to Atlanta. It's completely different than how I dress now. So I think and also searching for your own path. Mass media, mainstream media really markets to black people because that's what's accessible for them. I was in Lenox Mall the other day, and I just kind of, a lot of journalism is just observing. Sometimes it's not always having the mic on and tape recorder on and like taking notes. Sometimes it's just literally look back and observing your environment. It's journalism as well because it's taking in data and research. And I was just looking at one, how people were dressing. I hate to say this, but that's something I've been saying since I moved to Atlanta. A lot of people look the same. They have on the same variations of different
I
fits.
kid you not, I went into Ponce City Market and I went inside. There was a kid with a dazzled shirt on, got them flannel, the little dazzled shorts, and some Tims.
I would say Tim boots.
5 seconds later, I swear to God, another kid walks in the door with the same exact fit. I almost lost my shit. Like, bro, come on. Like, it gets to a point.
Skin
It
tight
gets to a
jumpsuit,
degree.
shark boots, jean jacket,
It gets to a degree.
bust
Like,
down wig.
come on. I know it might be a wave or.
I appreciate everyone's coming up as yourself, but there's a difference between showing up as yourself and just copy
copying.
pasting what you see on Pinterest and other people
Or just a
wearing.
mannequin.
And that's why I really struggled to fit in school. I was a misfit 'cause I just refused. I refused to look like you. I just don't want to do it. We were uniform school too, so I would do things like our uniform was navy blue khaki pants, white shirt or blue shirt. If you had a jacket, it could only be blue or white, and the zipper had to be open, or you could wear a sweatshirt, no logos, no nothing on, just a plain sweatshirt, blue or white. I would take my blue and white sweatshirts, and I would cut them in half, so it would be like a cropped like sweatshirt over my uniform shirt, and I would like pop the collar out. And we were like a bunch of jewelry, and my mom had a lot of. I was like, I'm not finna look like y'all guys. I'm sorry. My mom had her designer belt, so I would wear like her Gucci shoes or her Gucci belt. Cause she had like these really high knee brown Gucci boots with like a matching Gucci belt. So I would like wear that with, like my white and my khaki and like my gold jewelry. So like I would always find a way to like look different, and it was when people look the same, they assimilate together because they look the same. Because I refuse to look like you, and I want to be just myself and different. It was weird because we're high schoolers. Like it's like you're not supposed to like look like people say like High School Musical is not real. Stick to the status quo. Like what do you mean you want to sing? You're supposed to be playing basketball. What you mean you want to bake creme brulee, nigga? You're supposed to be on here doing layups. What do you mean? And it's like no, I actually. Because I'm a theater kid, I'm a dancer, I'm a drama kid. Like I had so many. Like every day, I'm like, what am I gonna do today? So I think people just like I'm seeing the Skims bag, I'm seeing Journeys, I'm seeing this bag. I'm seeing how people are shopping, seeing how people are dressing. I'm seeing what type of girls or what type of guy, and like you're seeing like the styles and everything, and it's frustrating because it's like because you think about the type of people when they need clothes are gonna go to the mall, and then there's a way of people who like I'm gonna go thrifting. I'm actually gonna like taking time with fashion. I've been adding things to my cart, but I'm not purchasing. I'm on a strict rule of like one new piece a month, but being really intentional with the piece that I get. And as I'm phasing things out, understanding that fashion is supposed to move slower, but in malls they don't move so slow. And I'm just like looking at like
Straight capitalism.
yeah, and you see how it's marketed, and you see the people that are coming to the mall, and you see what's mass marketed there. Like I can't name like a single black-owned brand in Lenox Mall. In Bloomingdale's, in Bloomingdale's in Lenox Mall they have the like the Atlanta Fashion Week black section, like Black History Month. Just throughout the year, they'll have black-owned brands that are highlighted throughout Bloomingdale's.
Okay.
But
I
that's
think
just Bloomingdale's.
there's a hat store in Lenox Mall, Urban Co. I think that's in there as well too.
Yes, but like another thing I
like
noticed was black fashion, black culture, is that we don't look for us. I think people like me and you, we look for us. So like I'm gonna look for the black owned brand first or the woman owned brand first. Then I'm gonna go mainstream.
Yeah.
But there's people who just don't look for that because they just want to look like. I never forget when F&W Style were first, and we didn't have the official placement in Bloomingdale's, but it was just the first like we were just had our Bloomingdale's for a month just to see how sales went, which is huge. We would just be like, hey, like black people who are coming in, like, hey, we're a black owned brand, designer handbags. And they're like, oh, okay. They go to Marc Jacobs. Or they go to the Coach of Louis Vuitton or the Goyard bags.
That'll even like turn some people off when you say it. Oh, we're a black owned business. That turns some people off, and I think it's.
And we said because you think that it'll draw people in. Yeah. Black owned designer handbag brand. I think that sentence in black culture is something that I think people like me and you, oh yeah. But there's some people that are like the natural, normal consumer, which is kind of scary. It's like, oh, okay. And it's like, you are going to go over to Marc Jacobs bag. This black woman is doing exactly what they're doing. She's drawing out the sketches of the bags, getting them manufactured. She's getting samples done. She's changing the sample. She's going back and forth. She's changing this from gold to silver. She's changing this. She has pockets on the
Working.
inside. She has a key holder on the inside. She has two side pockets, like a flap on the open, like it's practical, multiple colors. Like it's like she's putting so much detail and depth into creating a designer leather handbag, and you're not even gonna like really take the time to look at it, but your brain's gonna go to Marc Jacobs. And it's like there's nothing wrong with Marc
Plain black
Jacobs.
bag.
And like at one point I did want the tote bag. I wanted that. But now I have other tote bags. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's actually better tote bags.
Yeah.
But people aren't gonna like they just go to what's right in front of them. They don't really understand the process of like looking for anything else because they just want it now. But for me, understanding that fashion is so slow, I'm looking for, okay, well, I just went to New York Fashion Week and New York Fashion Week, and a lot of those are black designers. And being intentional about, okay, the next piece I want to get, I want it to be from a black designer. So I'm going to look at all the black designers I have in my cart. But I think as a culture, I think we have a unspoken issue of not seeing black as luxury. And we have a subconscious anti-blacks is that we don't even see ourselves as luxury. And people were saying, oh, some black-owned businesses have bad customer service and this and that, which, yes, is true. But don't say that if you still shop on Shein and Target and Fashion Nova. Like what's happening with Hanifa, a lot of y'all will shit on Hanifa, but Fashion Nova don't even give y'all refunds. You can only exchange, but you're faithful to that. You're very faithful to that. And if Fashion Nova gives you, y'all don't talk like people are like, oh, what this sizing. Fashion Nova sizing's all fucked up. My best friend, she got a 1X, and then the next item she gets, she's an extra large, and the next item she gets, she's a medium, and the next item she gets, she's a 2X, and she has to keep going through the exchanges. But it's the second it's the black-owned brand, it's like this sizing. It's not the only brand with sizing. It's just that's just something that's gone back to just capitalism, making fashion one size fits all when it was originally made to order, and people don't know that you can get that shit tailored.
Exactly.
I
Black
know.
tailor. There are billions of black tailors probably in Atlanta right now.
Literally, and I'm grateful, thankful for my ancestors, my granny, my mom that has given me a sewing machine, and I know for a fact that because I'm small in the waist, thick in the hips, I know I'm gonna get the pair of jeans that fit me in my hips, and it's gonna be a waist gap the size of my hands and my wrists, but I know I can take it in because I can put darts in it, and I know I can cut fabric out and resew it back. A lot of people just don't know that.
Yeah, or they haven't tapped into themselves to kind of, I guess, embrace that, or to, see that that is possible. I think it's easier to just go to Marc Jacobs and get a plain black bag rather than doing
Yeah.
research and figuring out what you actually like or seeing what actual black designers, you can go and spend your money with. I think it goes deeper into like things of like, I don't know, comfortability or just kind of just tunnel vision, seeing what's in front of you or what's been given to you rather than like, I don't know, opening your mind and like seeing what's really around, seeing where you really come from or seeing like what's really authentic and genuine,
Yeah.
so
You just see what's in front of you. You don't really. Society just doesn't call for us to look deeper. One, because it takes a lot more time, and in this capitalistic society, there is no time. You don't have enough time. That's why you want things. That's why you expect things to get there the next day instead of this actually takes 7 to 10 business days. Like
Instead of
7 to 10
putting in the work.
business days. Yeah, nigga, 7 to 10 business days. You can wait a week and a half.
Exactly.
You're fine.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. Like express shipping is like, oh, why it ain't here yet? Nigga, it's Sunday.
Are you in a rush?
It's Sunday.
I be shipping out some orders like, can you ship today? Like, why do you need this piece by? Like, where are you going for
Where
this
you going
plain
today?
T-shirt? Like, and I've been reading a book recently. It's called "From Niggas to Gods" by Kill. I don't know if you've heard of it before. It's really blunt. Like he comes immediately talking at you like you're a slave.
Damn.
Like going at it, but he goes into like how everything is like our master. Like our phone notification, we pick it up. We want to go get a drink, go get some liquor. We're going to go get some drugs, go get some drugs. Everything is a master of us besides us being a master of ourselves. And I think it takes like you tapping into your culture, I guess like defining your blackness, so you can reclaim yourself and be a master, so we can be gods,
Yeah.
so we can kind of just stop following as like a enslaved like a slave because we're slaves to everything, until we just take that back for ourselves. Um, and I feel like, mm, I don't know, I feel like it's just important to like really embrace our blackness, and I think you're doing a really amazing job of doing that.
Thank you. And I think my favorite part of having to embrace my blackness is understanding that my blackness is not going to look like everyone else. And understanding that, one, that's okay. Because I think of media and media, music, like, just doesn't represent every type of black woman. That's like a part of time, like, I want to do what Issa Rae did, like her web series, and like do like her own television series. Because I'm like, I just haven't seen a black girl who's a military brat who is just different. Like, I like, you always see the girl coming off as just unapologetically black off the back. What about the black girl who is whitewashed and is coming to terms with her blackness in real time, and like real experiences, and coming to terms with like her body, and like dressing a certain way and realizing why she dresses certain ways. And we don't talk about it, but mommy issues and daddy issues in the black community, like, not for the exploitation of like what Tyler Perry does, but like actually from like a real shout out to FD Signifier, a real space of like.
That's so funny. That just popped up on my YouTube the other day. Like,
Have you watched it yet?
I have not watched it, but I can't wait to go into it. I've
heard FD Signifier is phenomenal. Like, I hope he wins awards one day for what he does. The first time, I've been watching him for a minute, but when he did the Kendrick Lamar and Drake video, I know I'm with the culture feeling. It's around the same length as the Tyler Perry video. So in depth.
I have not tapped in yet. I can't wait. I did watch his podcast on the Grits and Eggs, though. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started watching. I didn't finish it through yet, but it seemed really good, though. I gotta tap in.
Gotta tap in. And I appreciate creators like FD Signifier, because I'm like, what the fuck is a 24-minute video? I gotta the fact better. That he can give you an hour, 2-3 hour long video.
That's how you know it's good.
Oh, I really struggle with Instagram and TikTok, specifically TikTok, because Instagram I think is a bit more friendlier to long form content. Not really, but TikTok, I don't like short form content. I really like the last I try to make a TikTok, it ends up being 10 minutes. Like, I have a lot to say. Like, I really appreciate YouTube and like people in podcasting, people who make long form content. Like, short form content is just so.
It's kind of a newer thing for the Gen Z, because we're so like, we just want to get all that dopamine so fast and look at all these different videos, somebody twerking, then somebody getting shot, and then a fucking basketball video in 10 seconds, And that shit fucks up your fucking brain. So I think lectures like that, they are like really good, because you kind of can actually enjoy it, and it kind of build up and makes you get some fucking patience too, because we all need that right now.
Yeah, and I love the return to. We're making a return to physical media. People were like showing like, I still got my CDs and shit. Like, I love the culture of getting back to appreciating slow physical media. I don't mind online shopping, but getting back to feeling the fabric, trying on the clothes. People just need things now, but like, let's get back to like, let's try, see how it feels on our body. Let's size up, let's size down, because it's actually supposed to be a slow, intentional process. Think about your favorite celebrities. When they go to fittings, that's just not 2 seconds. They have to try it on. They got to take it in, take it out. Okay, maybe the celebrity lost weight, gained weight. You got to, get a size up, take that in. Like, it's actually like, I think we should all treat ourselves like celebrities in fashion. Like, steam your clothes, take your time. The first fit you put on is not gonna be the best fit. You're gonna have to put on those jeans and put on that shirt to realize you actually want to wear that shirt with these jeans. You put on the shoes, you realize you actually really want to wear these shoes. So you go back to the jeans and put on a separate shirt just to realize, you actually like this shirt and these pants with those shoes. And it's like a whole process, and people don't see that. It's like a whole like, try on 5 pants and 6 shirts and 12 shoes and then different hair combinations, then you get to the final fit. And working as a stylist, working in fashion, you see that happen all the time. You get to the fashion show fit and you're like, change the shoes. Can you change the black top to like a nude top? Okay, and actually because we changed the top, put her hair up. Like, the actual process, it's not like, okay, and go. That's why fashion shows have like multiple fittings. That's why you need to try the clothes on first, and then you have extra looks to switch out. Like, it's actually a slow, detailed, tedious process that's also changing. And I think people just want to put it on and go. And sometimes,
Yeah.
yes, there are times when you put it on and go, but there's also times if you come to terms with yourself enough, if you spend time with your clothes, spend time with yourself, you will get to a point where you can just put it on and go because you not only know your closet, but you know yourself. And you can do that. But if you struggle with getting dressed, it's probably because you are spending time with your closet. You are spending time looking at your clothes, feeling your clothes, touching your clothes. Like I had this pink skirt that I'm going on a work trip next week. I'm going to wear this pink skirt. I'm like, damn, I don't know if I have a top for that. And I said, I wish I had like a cute little jacket. I looked in my closet and I said, oh shit, I do have a cute little jacket, a pink jacket right here. Perfect. And if you just take time to just like search through what you have in your closet and taking note, there's been times where I'm like, dang, I wish I had some black jeans. I wrote it down. I need to re up on my basic. It's time to kind of re up my white shirts, re up my black shirts, and knowing when it's time to replace things and invest in certain things. But that takes being detailed, taking time, and not allowing other people to tell you what you need to buy because it's spring, summer, polka dots are in.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's like, okay, but do you even like polka dots?
Exactly.
No, I'm a rock the zebra print. I think zebra print's fire. Or what if it's summertime and I still want to wear cheetah print? Like that's okay, but people there's this, especially in Gen Z fashion culture. Oh my god, of like if I don't dress like this not a fit, or I'm not on trend, or I'm not a fashion guy or a fashion girl. Because I don't want to wear, I don't know, like a plaid mini skirt and brown shark boots and a crop jersey and a bunch of maximalist rings and like I don't know, a button down shirt underneath the crop jersey. I'm not a fashion girl. I'm like, no, it's just that's just not me. And it's only so many times someone could wear that outfit. It's only certain times people could wear the Tim boots and the wide leg jeans and the crop jersey and the and and the cap and the Tim boots or the Carhartt jacket.
So leave it where it was.
Like guys, you have to dress for yourselves, and if you dress for yourselves, yes, it is fashion. Fashion people, we don't compliment each other enough because we are when we're insecure about our own fit. So we can't compliment you if we're insecure. You have to be confident in yourself to be like, I like your fit. And like even when you came in, like I like the fit. Like we need to let's as fashion people, let's get the complimenting each other fits. And honestly, like let's get dressed together. Like it's okay to ask the fashionable friend, hey, you think this with this?
Yeah.
No, actually try to brown shoes instead.
I
Like
do that shit
that's
all the time.
it's okay. With
It
people
makes
that you
sense.
trust. I always
Yeah.
say never take fashion advice from people you will never trade outfits with. Like I tried to do that one time, and I'm like, "Have you ever liked a single outfit that they put on?" And the answer is no. Don't take fashion advice from them. So I think
Absolutely. I feel like yeah, what you're saying is like it's really important. I think it's important to be intentional, with fashion. Just wear ourselves, period. It's a part of it. If we're intentional with ourselves, we're intentional with what we're wearing, what we're putting on our body, things of that nature.
and playing
also,
around, like
yeah,
have
having
fun.
fun too with it.
Understand that it's okay to experiment. When you experiment, it's not always going to turn out good, but that's the
Have
process of
fun. It's
learning.
a process of
People
it.
are afraid to look like they're learning. Me as a fashion journalist, I'm literally learning, and I think there's this false expertise. I think the reason where that the TikTok fit comes from, people want to look like they're a fashion person without actually putting on the years and years and years that it takes to really become a fashion person.
I think it takes to being worth feeling like a laughing stock or feeling amused. Like I remember my first time like really stepping out the box. I put an outfit on. I was like, oh my god, I probably look a little goofy. And I went out and with me and my buddy, and we probably got like 10 compliments. Like the whole like throughout everybody was just like gassing us. I was like, damn, well shit.
Well, maybe I might be a
Maybe I
little
might be
doing
a
something
little,
here.
yeah. But it was like the fact that I just validated that myself, and I was like, fuck, I'm wearing this tonight. And from there on, I was like, I don't know. I feel like over time I've learned like it's important to validate yourself. Give yourself validation and that confidence, because I feel like if you don't have the confidence in myself, or you walked in and you wasn't too confident in your fit, I kind of would have gauged that. I'm like, I really don't like that fit. But I feel like if you're confident in what you're wearing, what you got on, I feel like that's more so of the like I like that. It may not even be the fit, but it's the confidence, the way you're wearing the fit. It's the fact that you know what you got on and you're embracing that shit. So like you said, I agree. Fashion should definitely be fun. You know. Um,
Play around, guys. Stop being so boring.
yes, have fun with this shit. Wear something crazy. Wear a crazy ass hat. Wear a crazy ass top. Why not?
Literally, oh my god, I went to Chicago a few weeks ago. I wore a fedora,
Why not?
nigga.
Why not? And like I was saying about the physical media, I've been getting into like vinyl lately. I'm
Yes,
trying
oh
to
my
get like
god.
more like
Thank
fashion
you for reminding
magazines
me.
as well too, because I want to start getting inspiration instead of like having to look online or look at the Pinterest. But I feel like it's easy to get caught into trends or what something should look like. Or I like that when you're just kind of looking online. But like you said with physical media, like I have not gotten into fashion magazines to that degree, but I want some so bad.
I wrote an article about that. It's called Magazines versus Algorithms. It's on Essence Girls United. I wrote an article
Oh, I know.
about
I did my
okay,
homework.
period. Okay.
I did my homework.
Okay. Yes, yes. The about the for the people who don't know, read the article, Essence Girls United. Find it on my page. Talking about social media runs a psychological warfare on us. I wrote about that in my it's Gen Z fashion monolithic article, but also on Essence Girls United. But I for the piece that's talking about magazines versus algorithms, algorithms can be helpful in helping you find new things, but magazines give you inspiration on how to do it. I think people go to algorithms because it gives you a formula to follow. Magazines give you inspiration to create your own formula, and people are afraid of that because it's not going to be highly popularized. Like
Mm-hmm.
Tracy Ellis Ross's like formula is probably like she has gotten her style and her embodiment of who she is as a human so down packed. So like she is the inspiration, and I look to her for a lot of inspiration just to like see how like she wore this look the other day with like these really big bold black glasses, and I'm like, and that's just so her. That's not me, but I'm like, wow, like to
She
see how
embodying
certain
herself.
pieces, yes, it's just so beautiful to see. But with fashion magazines, I think are way better than algorithms because you have to think about who's making fashion magazines. You have photographers, you have creative directors, you have editors, you have set designers, you have writers, you have stylists, you have assistant stylists, you have assistant editors. There's so many people of that expertise who put together fashion magazines who do this for real.
Mm-hmm.
On my is Gen Z Fashion Monolith article, I interviewed Jalen Gunter, and he was telling me about like he is a model, so he's gotten to like work with different stylists, and like you in what the stylists want to put you in,
Yeah.
and just seeing how like the stylists are putting these together, and you in it, you like I don't know, and you get that picture back, you like oh damn. Actually, that's editorial. That's high fashion editorial. But because he's in this environment so much around stylists, that's influenced his style. Because he's a model. When you're a model, of course you have great style as a model because you're around so many different designers and unique designs and styling processes that yeah, it's okay to it's of course you're going to be stylish because you're in this fashion magazines. You see how things are styled editorially, very different than how things are styled on a mannequin in the mall or even e-commerce because they have to make it marketable. It can't be too complex because it may be like too complex for like the natural consumer. So you got to make it simple enough but still make it cute and trendy and fashionable so people want to buy it. But editorial, they go crazy. They put things together that you wouldn't think to go together, and you see, and you're like, wow. So it really inspires you to get in your closet. It won't give you like because you may try that same editorial formula with your wardrobe and it may not work, but it gives you a blueprint to start.
Yeah.
And you're getting even not reading about fashion, like don't just consume fashion visually, but read about it. Understand when you're looking at runway, don't just say like, oh, this is cute, but like understand why this is culturally significant in this moment. Understand why this designer chose wool. Understand why they chose this fabric. Understand why certain things are the way they are. Like
Yes.
to really read about fashion. And I believe I can't remember her name, but this is like I think she's a fashion journalist. She has a quote that says, "If you want to be great or good at fashion, you need to learn about everything else but fashion." So it's not just as a creator on TikTok who she has a series called How to Not Be Boring where she gets fashion inspiration besides everything but fashion and anyone else's outfits. So she is looking at interior design. She's looking at a bowl. She's looking at like a yellow and blue bowl that's like marble. And she's taking inspiration from the bowl and making an outfit based off inspiration of the bowl. Like looking at looking at if I wanted to make inspiration from like your soundboard, okay, let's like wear some like gray leather pants and like let's wear like a multicolored top or and then like let's actually have on like black boots based off
Yes.
of me getting inspiration from this
Just the
soundboard.
soundboard
That's
alone.
me like making like it's
And
something
that's when
fresh, it's
fashion is
something new.
fun and you're not just
Yes.
taking from somebody else and reinventing something. You're taking something fresh from your mind and like that's the inspiration. generation.
Yes. And fashion magazines, like there's cultural things in there. Like I recommend like really sit with an issue. Yes, look at the pretty pictures, but sit with an issue. See what stories are being told in community. Seeing like what it's about, not just knowing what looks good, but what's happening in culture. What designers are hot right now, what designers are
Yes.
popping right now. Understanding like how music is influencing culture. Understanding how food is influencing music. Fashion and food has been like a really big market recently. Fashion and cars has been like has always been a thing, but we're seeing it like keep resurfacing because it is like a market. And like having expertise in knowledge and just care for other things other than fashion. Like I love cooking. So I like to do one new recipe a month and like even getting creative with that and like reading books outside of fashion magazine right now. I'm reading Bell Hooks All About Love and it's making me rethink a lot of things about life and love. It's just like seeing like going to art museums like going like go to museums, read a fashion magazine, read a home magazine, read a cooking magazine, like insert yourself in other things in the world. And when you really start to understand and curate your taste in different avenues, it shows up in your outfit because you are you you curate your taste.
Yeah, you're
Like I think
infinite.
taste is such a big part of like who you are. And like I can tell that you probably like things pretty raw, pretty authentic. You don't go to mainstream first. You probably try to thrift or find something really unique first, and then you may go to mainstream. If you ever go to mainstream at all, I can tell you like love music. I can tell you like you love education and you love learning and you love talking, but you're also really detailed and calculated and you like to slow down. But you are a Sag, so you do also can run rampant. But you have your times in your moments where you like really lock in, and you can just tell that by someone's outfit. And like I
Absolutely.
can tell that like you look like you could probably like hop on a skateboard real quick. But also
Wish. A
I
little
feel
bit. I could.
I love
I used
skateboarding,
to, but
but
I never got good enough. That's my
I don't
problem.
have balance. I don't have balance at all. I couldn't do it. But I just like you get to like look at people's. You can just see what tasted like. You can see. Oh, this person likes a red wine. You can say this person. No, that person probably likes tequila. Like, you can just
Uh-huh.
see in the vibes and like of like I think people. Willow Smith is always trending
I
because
love her.
controversial, but I love her.
Robin's amazing.
Yes, and people like she did like a recent video about like the state of the world. People are like, oh, she's so out of touch. No, it's just that if you look at how she was raised, she's operating on a frequency far beyond a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's singing about the fifth dimension. She's not on Earth with
She
us.
is not worried what the
So
fuck
y'all are talking
y'all
about like
talking
she's
about.
out of touch. No, maybe we're out of touch.
She just in touch for herself.
She's operating on a different frequency.
Mm-hmm.
She's literally in her fifth dimension. Someone who is like talking about the fifth dimension and frequencies and quantum physics, they're not on Earth with us. Her taste level is like Tracy Ellis Ross posted on Instagram, like dinner meet me for dinner, and I commented, I was like, LOL, you paying? I don't know if I can afford it. Well, you be going to dinner. You can just tell her dinner reservations are made months in advance. She's planned this out. Even if she is spontaneously going to dinner, she can call. She probably has a code name.
Mm-hmm.
She probably knows the chef.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of those restaurants that have like a new menu
Chef on
every week.
call.
Yes, like and that taste level is far beyond a lot of us. To where like and you see like elitism isn't always bad. When you get in these rooms and spaces, you're like, oh, this is a whole different world. And we make these notions, connotations about things that we don't understand because we just don't from our eyes. Like
Mm.
I was looking at the Damson Inches and Lori Harvey video that's been trending. They I guess so Paris Fashion Week I think was recently, and they looked like they were hooking up in Paris. People are like, what's going on in the background? I'm like, this is obviously like probably like someone's expensive loft or hotel party, and they're probably having like a party back there, and people are probably just like, we know what happens in house parties. So this is probably like a room in one of the house parties on the balcony, and like that's
Mm-hmm.
like that. But I can like know like, oh, that's probably like a rich person like hotel room, and they have a
Yeah.
suite, and everyone's like, after the show, just come over to my. And like
Mm-hmm.
we're just like, yo, like who gonna bring the drinks? Who gonna bring the snacks? Who gonna bring the
Mm-hmm.
pizza? Just meet me here. But when you see other people's doom, you heard that. When you see other people's lifestyles, you really get to see like, oh, that's why I think it's so important to. Yes, it's okay to understand where you're comfortable, but get out of your comfort zone.
Exactly.
Like it's okay to just do something that like you're not really used to. You get to expose to different inspirations but different lifestyles, and like don't drag people who like live different lifestyles because you could really learn something.
And I feel like it's important to. That's why I would say like I try to embrace and express how important it is to travel, how important it is to
Oh
do
my
different
god.
things. Like I am hearing people say like I'm bored. Go read about something you never thought about before, or go and fucking tap into a
It's
skill that you've
interesting
been
that people be
trying
like,
to.
I'm bored. How do you have time to be
How
bored?
are you bored? Like you're
Bored.
choosing to
Read
be
a book.
bored, or you just playing the fucking video game all the time. Go do something. There's so much in this world to do. Something it's so
Go on a
endless,
walk.
But you're even like yourself. You're within yourself. You are so endless. There are so many parts of yourself that has wanted to do this, wanted to do that, or there's so many problems that you can tap into and fix, so you can embrace your fullest self. So like I don't know. I think it's really important that, like you said, to kind of tap into different things, and not just be into that. It's like I hate like people saying like they'll call me like oh you're a fashion nigga. I hate that shit like
Oh,
so
fashion
hard
niggas are it's so funny. It's such a
because
hilarious term. You fashion
like
nigga.
no I'm not because so many other things that I do I just happen to kind of dress a little bit because
There's
I feel
just
like
such like a negative connotation for fashion niggas. They're like this
yeah
like
but also
lifeless monolithic person, like this NPC
like
character.
or just the nonchalant black guy with dreads like no that's not me I just happen to I guess fit that criteria to some degree but I feel like if I was a real fashion nigga, I feel like I would be into the fashion journals. I would be into the archives. I would know about this, that, and third designers. I don't know that shit. I'm fucking barely scratching the surface. I'm
I
still,
just like to take time and detail into what I do in life, especially getting
yeah,
dressed.
exactly. And I feel like so like to actually say like I'm into fashion. Like I feel like that's saying like I'm an engineer, but I don't even know the basics of engineering. I feel like to say like I'm into fashion or I'm a designer or a stylist, I have to do A, B, and C, the first and basic steps. First is believing in myself. I also have the work done the work to actually embrace that and say that. Like you said, like when you said the first year, I'm a journalist. It probably took a lot of work for you to, like you said, it took some time for you to actually feel like I'm a journalist for real.
That imposter syndrome is real. To feel
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh,
really
I
real.
haven't done this yet. I don't know if I am. And then
Mm-hmm.
I realized, no, you are. You are because you are,
Exactly.
because you said.
Mm-hmm.
And when people don't understand like the power of the tongue, when you say and you do, not even realizing that it isn't in alignment with what you said, things start to get a good type of scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like this year, I said this is gonna be my year of visibility, and I was like, I want to step in front of the camera and in front of the mic in a different way. And like now I'm here, and I was like, oh, power of the tongue. You gotta really be like careful
Yeah,
with your words. And
for
even though I
real.
said that I wanted it, like writing things down on paper constantly. Like don't just write it once. Like keep writing it
Yeah.
because you never know how it could manifest. And even if it doesn't, like you have to feel it before you see it. Sometimes just writing it out, not even really being connected to that yet. In 3 months, the
Mm-hmm.
more you see it, the more you speak it, you're like, oh, that is actually my reality now, which is kind of
Yes.
like
And I think
crazy.
that's the point too. People forget like they dream of something for so long, and then they forget that they're living in it. Like oh shit, I'm here. I'm present within all of this. Um,
Yeah,
there's something else I'm about to say.
fashion niggas.
You motherfucking fashion niggas, man.
Ooh. What's
Um,
the equivalent to the nonchalant fashion guy with locks? What's the equivalent to like a fashion girl? Like, what is that?
I haven't heard
Is there an
somebody just
equivalent?
be called a fashion girl. Um, no, I feel like it's a just niggas. Niggas are niggas. Like not no, not even niggas are niggas, but men are men. More so that aspect of it. So I feel like women don't have that connotation the way that guys do.
I
I
think
feel
that's
like
real.
I don't feel like I can depict a female for what she's wearing and say like, oh, she a fashion girl. I feel like women are just like limitless and just cool as fuck. So they can't get into that criteria if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
And I don't think people just be like, oh, that's a fashion girl. Like I don't know. I feel like women are just into fashion. But like
yeah.
me seeing that guy with the Tims and then the matching jorts with the rhinestones, I see it more of that copy and paste than I see within the women trends. Maybe
Them
that's because
damn
I'm
jorts.
looking more into men's fashion and me being a man. But also I don't see that copy paste with women's wear. But if it's like maybe if it's like just the same dress I seen for Sheen that this girl ordered or Fashion Nova, then I see like what's that one little piece like for example, that Fashion Nova jacket with the leather little belt strap that I tried to copy from. I forgot who made it originally,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But
but
yeah,
I
it's
seen
like black, white, and red
but it's like it's made. It's supposed to be made out of like
belts.
belts. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
I
Yep.
seeing that. I seen a lot of girls wearing that. So like that, seeing that copy paste, I still don't think that's degree of like, oh, he's a or she's a fashion girl, or yeah, I don't see that versus the fashion nigga thing.
No, that makes
And
sense.
then, and I think the fashion nigga thing falls into the like nonchalant guy with dreads. That whole little stereotype. When I don't know, I feel like a lot of those
Because that
guys.
guy does exist, but all of them are that. Like
Mm-hmm.
the profiling is kind
Yeah,
of
the
yeah,
profiling is really, really
yeah.
crazy. Like I've had a girl like show me a picture on she's like, "You dress like this," and then I'm like, "I don't dress anything like this
No, I
though."
don't. Is that how you see me?
That's how you see me though, because you see me just, I guess, dressing, and now you're depicting that into that whole little realm, I guess. So
I hate this terminology because I think it is kind of rooted in like a little anti-blackness and hypersexualization. But the BBL fashion look, I thought that. Well, like that's yeah, I may have that maybe that body type, but one is natural, so I don't fit, and two, it's just not. Why do I have to dress like that? Like I don't like the connotation of like the people are like, oh, so you probably shop on Fashion Nova a lot. I don't. I'm like literally phasing out of my Fashion Nova pieces because it's just not me anymore. But like no, like, and even like the fashion industry, you can see how they think about women with body types like mine. It's like no, I don't want to wear a skin tight romper all the time. I want to wear trousers that fit me with no pleats, please. I want like wide leg pants. I want the dresses too that don't ride up. Like I want the blazers that can fit at my waist properly and cinch me right. Like I want the things that everyone else is wearing and like why is it that this type of person gets to wear this type of clothing and that type of person gets to wear that type of clothing? Why can't I just be?
yeah,
Even if my being isn't in alignment with how you see how I'm supposed to be, that doesn't mean that I can't just you can't be how you're supposed to be, and it means I
just
have
let
to
me
like
be.
yeah just let me be. And I think the nonchalant fashion guy thing, well, I've seen that trope and I have experienced them. Not all of them are the same. And I like I said, it's going back to touching on like anti-blackness of like understanding that there's different types of black and appreciating all types, but not stereotyping based off of kind of like what you see. Like, oh, you assume it's like perfect example. A guy. I'm trying to say this. I'm just gonna say authentically, whatever. Um, a guy who like girls with a certain type of body type, that's the assumption that they like you back. You think that, oh, I like this, therefore that likes me back. Just because you like that don't mean it's gonna like you. And it's like even if like you assume that like, oh, I want a girl who look like this. Okay, but what if she don't want a guy that look like you? And that's fine. And a lot of people get confused because they
They
can't
put a
comprehend
fantasy
of
in their
like,
mind.
what do you mean? Like, I desire you, so obviously you desire me, right? No. Obviously, like, I've made this connotation of what you're supposed to be in my mind, and when you don't show up as that, people are kind of like confused because you've gotten so used to this one thing showing up as one thing, and you automatically place it as that. Like, oh, okay, you're like a guy with dreads with wide leg jeans on, you a fashion nigga. It's like, why would you assume I'm that? And then a certain
Yes.
type of person likes a certain type of guy as what they're perceiving you as, and then you get there and you think they're liking you for you, and but they've already had this connotation for you, and you like, oh, Shawty, that's not me. What do you? That's not.
Wrong guy.
Why did you? Wrong guy. What did you think I was, or why did you even come into that thinking I was? You could just find out who people are as they are. And like, yes, I can look at someone because I'm skilled in this. I can look at someone and understand and know a lot about them just off of how they dress. But I know there's a deeper surface that I'm not seeing. I can get to that I can actually get to the deeper layer and the outer layer, but I understand that there's so much more that I don't see.
Yeah, I think that's why it's important to give people grace, and I think it's important to kind of serve, but because we're so easy to judge, and
As a
like you
Virgo,
said,
I am very easy to judge, but I'm learning. I'm relaxing. I'm learning.
I think sometimes you should have you can judge. It's okay to judge. It's okay to have your own like boundaries. It's okay to have your own opinions. But I think it's easier
Thank you.
to judge than to give people grace and not
Mm-hmm.
have to think about what they've been through or how they got to that point or what the stereotypes or influence that they are under. Maybe they want to break out of dressing like that and they don't know how. Maybe they're trying to find their own style. So yeah, I think it is important to kind of just give people grace and let people do what the fuck they want to do. Let people be. Point blank, period.
Literally, yeah. And sometimes it's okay. Like, if you are that confused or like that frazzled, I always say liberation is on like the next side of your triggers. So, like, if something does trigger you or you're not confused, just ask the question. Just say, I don't understand and I need help understanding this. And being vulnerable and honest of like, I'm used to this. I understand you're not that, but I'm fighting this because I'm used to this. So I need help and I'm curious to help me find a different way. I think people just don't like to look like they don't know.
Or also, it because it takes courage to be vulnerable. I feel like it takes courage
Oh
to
yeah.
just even just stepping into yourself, because it takes courage. You have to take that first step of being vulnerable and acknowledging, your faults, or acknowledging your bad habits, or acknowledging where you're at, so you can get to where you want to be. So,
Yeah.
um, and I guess like I have my last question for you, because I feel like we can talk all day.
You
And I know
can.
you're a busy lady. I got some things to do,
Ugh.
but
Sleep.
I guess my question is, how do you balance, or how do you find the balance between all the things that you're doing, between all the pressures, all the cultural norms, all the things, that are telling you to be what you're not? And I guess more so in that same breath, like the same question on the other side, like, just who is Asia? Who are you? What defines you? Like, when you're just bathing in your essence, like, what is Asia?
Mm, I think Asia is hyper analytical of everything. I see things that most people don't. It is very freaking annoying because I'm like, I have to fix it. And sometimes I do get a little upset because it's like certain things that I'm just like, how do you not see it? Like I'm Virgo sun, Capricorn moon, Capricorn rising, all triple earth over here. So while I'm grounded in it, I hold a lot into myself. And when I like to speak, I speak with purpose, or I'm just like kind of like bolting all my thoughts out because I spend a lot of time quiet. So when things come out, it's like because I just want to get it out. Very loquacious, but I think uh, I'm hyper analytical in a sense that I see and I analyze everything. I can see things. If my boss watches this, she can vouch. I always say it's not centered. I that's my favorite. It's probably I say that phrase probably 3 times a month. It's not centered. Like if a logo is not centered, if any like a text is
That
not
to me,
centered,
though, to the
I can see everything.
that's why it took me like 30 minutes to just get the camera angle like perfect,
I
like
can
it
see.
has to
And
be.
people, and I understand, like, how did you not see that I was not in frame? How did you not see, like, that I was not on the left grid? Like, how did you not see? So I think I'm very hyper analytical, and it is hyper analytical to a fault because I see everything. But I'm learning that, like, I'm learning a lot of my phrases this year is this is my year of visibility. This is the year of progress, not perfection. And I think that in my essence, I I think I just like to. I'm always looking to improve. I'm always like, looking to do better. I'm kind of hyper obsessed with self improvement, self development. But if you're always improving, when can you just be? So long, would you even need to improve? So that's something currently right now that I'm working on. Just allowing myself to just be without having to change, without having to fix, just being, and knowing that I'm worthy of love in my progression. There's a lot of rhetoric online, especially in romance, of like, come built, like come fixed, come ready. No one's ever 100%. It's always gonna be growth. It's always gonna be development, and having the human empathy with myself to like. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I can't have this because I'm not here yet. You're worthy of all you desire in whatever state you are in, whenever you desire it, at whatever state you're in, because you are you. And when we delay love or we delay success, whenever we delay joy or happiness to get to this thing, it makes me feel uncomfortable in a sense of, I think that, when do you get to enjoy? And when
Yes.
do you get to live and get to be? When you completed the project, you can live and be and enjoy while you are in completed the project. And I think that mental shift is something that's not comfortable because that's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of internalized work to shift on the other side to really like say, no, I can enjoy in this moment. Even though, like, in the morning, I'm coming here and I'm like, I gotta get this post done, then I gotta write the caption for it, then I gotta post it, then I gotta do this, and I gotta do that, and I gotta do this, and I gotta do that. And I was like getting anxious for a moment and getting down. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna enjoy this silence. I'm not gonna play no music. I'm gonna listen to my thoughts. I'm gonna embrace and enjoy this moment of life because it's not always gonna be like this. There's gonna be times and moments where like the level of where I want to go. I think this is just training because I'm a fashion journalist, but I'm growing into being a fashion editor, and I have written on my whiteboard fashion editor in training because like this is literally training for the lifestyle. There's gonna be one day where okay, yes, I have to do this post, and I'm gonna have to come film a podcast, and I gotta go view a showroom. I have to go talk to a designer. I have to go write an article. I have to probably get ready for something. Like I understand that the next phase in life for me is gonna be yes, you have to film a podcast, and then you have a flight to London, and then you have a flight to Paris, and then you have this, and you have this article to write. And before, I think that success amplifies things that are already there. Money amplifies things that are already there. Think about Diddy, like he was that person, and money just amplified it. Money just let him know more. Like money just money success. I don't know if you're a Marvel fan, but in one of the Captain America movies, they were talking about the super soldier serum, and they said that the serum just amplifies what you already are. So when what's his name, John Walker, got the serum, you could tell he was impulsive, he was insecure, and he was catty. And when he took the serum, it made him more impulsive. It made him more catty, and it made him even more insecure because he was already that. So in this stages of life, I'm learning that I understand that I really value my nervous system. And even in the chaos, how can I find little glimpses of light that help me find my nervous system balance and peace? Because sometimes it is going to be out of whack. But what can I do to like bring it back to center? Even in the midst of the chaos, what can I do for myself? Is it taking a deep breath? Is it I'm getting more in touch with like different forms of spirituality. Like I've been burning my Palo Santo and having that be a grounding pleasure for me. I've been actually fixing my bed and like really just checking in with myself, journaling. Like I think the little things to just like get back to myself because the world moves so fast and it's so chaotic. It's really quick to lose yourself and veer off into the medium of what you're around. And I think it's okay to adapt, but it's also okay to like, okay, who am I in this moment? Let me take my time. Let me actually like check in with myself and just having little tangible things to do that. So hyper obsessed with self improvement, self development, self help stuff like become your higher self and quantum physics. That's really me. But also I love art, all forms of art. I really love to learn, but I also like to put my learning into action a lot. Really loquacious, love to yap, love to talk, love music. I think stepping into a world for me that is where I can one be in touch with my sensuality, but also be in touch with the demands of my job. And that's it's getting rough. I'm not gonna lie, I've been really anxious recently, but like taking the steps to be like, okay, what do I need? What is it like? Do I need to cry right now? And like we think that sometimes when we cry, like, oh my god, my life's over, I need to do something. Sometimes let's just cry. Let's just get out. Let's just take a nap. Let's just journal out. Like sometimes the emotions can feel so big and so crazy and wide that you feel like you have to fix them. Sometimes the emotions are just to be felt as an understanding. They're not to be fixed. And I think I've been for a long time felt like emotions are something you need to fix quick, fix it, fix it. Sometimes it's okay to just feel. There's a difference between feeling something and transferring that into an action that could be detrimental. And there's also reason to just when I feel, I'm pretty silent and I'm pretty just like I really have to do the deep, deep work to just feel and absorb and understand. And then when I go on to the next day, I'm like, okay, what was I feeling yesterday? Understanding that I feel completely different today. But understanding, okay, why was I feeling that way? What led up to that? So what do I need to do to kind of rearrange and understanding that like life is not linear.
Yes.
Like especially work is really picking up for me. So like I got these work trips and I have a morning routine and even though my morning routines are getting a lot faster, okay, like maybe we can just fix the bed at the hotel room. Even though housekeeping's coming, let's fix the bed. Okay, content makes you happy. Let's film some content. Like doing at least one thing that makes me like re-regulate my nervous system in the midst of the chaos, and embracing this year of visibility for me, embracing the progress. It's not going to be perfect, but it's progression until you get perfection to the outside world. Because to you, you're still progressing, but to the outside world, it's perfect. I always reference Doechii as like Doechii is now who she is now, but people are literally going back to her YouTube videos from like 3, 4, 5 years ago and seeing like, wow, she's really been doing this. Like, she's so persuasive. That came out in like what, 2022? People are like just now like, oh, like she's been at this, and that's progression. And then there's that moment where everything is pop big, but things don't like stop there. And I think the comfort and the peace of like, that's where I am now. Like I'm in the like, look at the Michael B. Jordan. He's been acting since he was like a child, and like he's about to be 40 getting the Oscar. Like Shirley Ralph House of Cole, like if you don't make it in your teens, you don't make it in your 20s. You don't make it in your 20s, you don't make it in your 30s. You don't make it in your 30s, you don't make it in your 40s. You don't make it in your 40s, you don't make it in your 50s. And it's like embracing the progress, because to the outside world, you're gonna look perfect. But you know the progression, and understanding that like there are gonna be like sweet little blisses and moments of perfection, but understanding that right now, finding the bliss in the progress. I think it's been so beautiful for me, the highs and the lows, and coming to terms of being vulnerable and being like, damn, I need to work on that. Even like trying to like engage in like, I don't know, friendship and romance and familial relationships, and knowing that, oh, well, damn, I need to do some work here. And understanding that there's going to be highs and lows. I'm going to give more time to my work sometimes. I'm going to give more time to maybe romance sometimes. Sometimes a lot of Gen Zs were freaking sick of romance, so now we're just going to focus on our friendships. And then our friendships, we're going to realize that, dang, I actually want love, and I'm going to go back to love. And I'm like, okay, well, forget love. I'm going to go back to my friendships, and actually, I'm going to be in a season where I'm just all in on work. I'm missing birthday dinners. I'm rescheduling dates 6, 7 times, and I probably haven't burned my Palo Santo in a week, and understanding that there's bliss in those moments of chaos, and then coming back to be like, hold up, what am I missing? That's why it's so important to write things down. Write things down when you feel good and when you feel bad, because both of them are references. I think when we feel bad, we really we really for lack of a better word, we really give more energy to things that go bad, and when things are go good, it's like, oh, okay, whatever. But when things are bad, we it becomes more catastrophic when things are bad. While it is important to take time and attention to recognize those things, when things are good, we just kind of bypass them. You really gotta like, and it's just how our brains work. Social media, capitalistic world, they really bank off of like negativity and what's gonna get the reaction instead of the progression of things, and things are slow. So taking time to like really understand myself and others, and understanding and appreciating each phase of life that I'm in, and knowing that it's temporary, and finding the bliss in that. I think it's been the fun part of it, and understand that there's more parts to life other than work. Like last night, I was like thinking of this Virgos or overthinkers, thinking of a random scenario of like, oh my God, what if I'm like working? Like I looked at the clock, it was 3 a.m. I said, oh, I need to go to bed. But I'm like, but I gotta get it done. But it's like, okay, but like you're stepping into your higher self of life. What if I have a partner and my partner's like think I'm neglecting him? Or what if my friends were like, girl, we ain't hang out in a couple weeks? And it's like, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
Right now in this moment, in this season you're in, just appreciate and find the bliss in that moment. When you get to that moment of friendship, of scheduling things, and understanding that it is okay to take time away from your work to build friendships, to build romance, to build a relationship with yourself, to build those familiar relationships, to build up knowledge on like a different skill set. It's okay to sit this to the side for a second, to give time and energy to this, and then it's okay to go back to this. And sometimes it's okay to blend them. Not every part's gonna be blended, but sometimes it's okay to blend them, and sometimes it's okay to separate. And when you get to that season, knowing that that season is okay to be in, but anxiety is overestimating the impact of the future and the lack of appreciating the present.
Say that one more time. They need to hear that one more time.
Anxiety. And I struggle with anxiety. I used to have really terrible panic attacks, but as I'm understanding now that, and I don't want to say it's a choice because I know there is anxiety disorders, but for me, realizing that, hold up, I actually don't have to do this right now, or there's something in this moment I can do to change it. But for me, I'm like, wait, this, you're choosing to feel this. You know you have the tangible resources to change this feeling or cope with this feeling. So when I realized that anxiety is overestimating the weight of the future and the lack of appreciation for the present, I realized that, oh, I can just be not just being a loosey goose, just doing whatever, but just finding the bliss in the moment and not, yes, I'm gonna be a responsible adult and make sure I have what I need to do for tomorrow and the next week and the next month, but also understand there's so much that I don't know that's gonna happen in the next month or the next week, and being as prepared as I possibly can, but understanding that sometimes you can be over prepared and then realize that everything you over prepared for is no longer applicable here.
Yep.
And loving that bliss in that and being flexible. So I think that in the present, feeling what I'm feeling in the present, getting ready for reflecting on the past, and getting preparing for the future, but also just appreciating the present and loving every season I'm in, and giving appreciation for everything that I desire. I think in certain times in life, people are like, "Oh, well, you ain't got that. You're not supposed to be worried about that right now. Like, you're not supposed to be worried about a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband or a wife or a job or a car or this or that. Like, you're supposed to be focused on this right now. You can't tell me what I'm supposed to focus on.
Exactly.
Like, whatever you desire in this moment, make sure it's coming from an abundant, high vibrational place. Make sure it's not coming from a lonely or depressed side. And if you are lonely or depressed, tend to that and see what's going on there. I think, especially since things move so fast for Gen Z, it's just like, forget that. There's also a toxic positivity culture. People are like, forget that, change your mindset. But it's like, no, but you're feeling something that keeps coming up. To change the mindset, you have to understand the feeling. So that's kind of what's going on for me in my life right now, of how I'm navigating things. And yeah, I that's kind of where I am.
Yes. Let's it didn't even work. We just gonna clap it up.
Oh, yay, okay.
Clap for Asia.
What
Clap
if
for
we just like
Asia.
didn't hear it?
Maybe we didn't. Maybe it did work. We
Or
didn't hear
you
it.
hear, you're like,
I'll
oh,
still
it did
I'll
work.
throw it in later anyway. I'll still throw it in. But that just kind of goes into like just like why I did this podcast, because like the self is so infinite. You know, like you say, there's so many different things we're doing at once. We're always thinking about the future. We're always thinking about the past. You know, and we're
And
also trying to
appreciating every
maintain.
version.
Yeah, and there's so many versions of ourselves. You know, things that we wanted to do as kids that we still trying to do to this day, or that we're living in and that we're
The inner
trying to
child is so
enjoy.
important.
Absolutely, and that's like it's part of why I'm doing this podcast. It's something I wanted to do years ago, but part of myself, one of my parts of myself wanted to still do this. You know, and I
I'm
still
right behind you,
deserve
buddy.
that. You know, yeah. So like,
Whenever I press record, I'm right behind you.
but yeah, like self is so infinite, and like you said, I think at the most though, it's important to be present within ourselves though, within all the things that we are doing, within everything that we want to do. Just enjoy the moment now, to just breathe or just to be, because it's a gift. You know, and we need to really enjoy
Amen.
that, point blank period. So Asia, I really, 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 really appreciate you for
I
coming on
appreciate
today. This has
you.
been amazing. It's probably like my best episode. Yeah, I probably say like at every episode, but this is like the best episode for real. Yes, I appreciate you.
And this all came from a random interaction in New York.
Yeah, if y'all don't know, I met Asia in New York, just seeing on the street, like, hey, what's up? Where are you from? Atlanta. Oh, I'm from Atlanta too. What?
Yeah, yeah. Who would have known you also went to Perimeter College? I was listening to episode one.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually funny. I left Perimeter a year before I think you came. If I would have stayed, if I would have stuck with you one more year, it would have actually been on the. And then the woman who runs like the media podcast studio.
I want to do a podcast there so bad, but I just never got to it.
But I got connected with the woman who runs it, and I asked her to read my early articles, like in 2022, 2023. I asked her to read my first my first work that was going to be published to the world. I asked her to read it, and it's actually crazy because it's like, wow, who would have thought? Just like a random interaction in New York, it was just like we're here now. I think it's so
The
beautiful.
synchronicities. Yes, yes, yes. I love
Wow.
it. Yes, I appreciate you coming on today, Asia. Give
Thank
them
you
some
for
of your
having
ads. Give
me.
them some of your websites, stuff where they can
Whew.
find you, your work, all the
Child,
things, please.
so much stuff. You can read some of my work on Essence Girls United. You can. I have a Substack. I only have one post. I wrote about 7 takeaways for Black women from one of them days.
Oh yeah, I just read that. Actually, I had a quote when we were talking about success, and
Uh,
you said while social and political agendas significantly affect our algorithms, it's important to step away from the screens and define success ourselves. And I love that.
Thank you.
That was really nice.
I feel like, wow, I did write that. Sometimes when you get insecure and you like you get the imposter syndrome. I read my work. I said, I hate that. What the
She
fuck?
was good.
I was like, well, damn. I actually, when I
She
was
was
reading back
good.
to one of them days piece, I wrote that a year ago, and when I finally published it, it was a year anniversary of the film dropping. I just wanted to get it out, and I read it back. I said, damn, I am great. I'm actually
Yes.
like really, and to have that confidence, like, damn, I actually am good at what I do. I'm kind of, I may be the shit. I actually may be.
I am the shit.
I actually am the shit. So, no, yeah, no, thank you for that.
Of course.
77 magazine is on a pause, but I believe the website is back up. So if you want to read some of my work on 77 magazine, it's there. Career Mastered magazine, my work is there. And within the next hopefully week or so, I'll have a couple of my first works on Advisor magazine. Um, and my Substack is called Better Late Than Never because I operate on my own time. Society pushes things out so fast. Sometimes you just got to do things on your own time.
Better
As long
late
as
than
you still
never.
do it. Better late than never. That's my Substack. And what else? What else do I have? I think that's it for now. Oh yeah, I do have an Instagram. I am Asiashamirn _ on Instagram. Asia spelled like the continent. Shamir SHAMIR. That's my middle name. And yeah, you can find all my work there. I do my little red. It's award season, so I've been doing like my favorite red carpet looks. I think I'm gonna end it off with the Oscars. It's coming up soon. I'm hoping Sinners sweeps, please. Sinners sweeps. Yeah, and for the people out there who saw Sinners in theaters, thank you. It's important for us with our black dollars to get out to put into black businesses,
Absolutely.
Especially black films. We need more black films like Sinners. Like one of them days, when's the last time we had like a comedy film starring two? That's the first one since Baps. I want to be clear on that. Like Baps, that was like in the 90s. A buddy comedy film with two black leading stars that hasn't happened since Baps, like blockbuster main screen like that. So you see the importance of going to see these films, yes, multiple times. Don't wait till it hits streaming. Don't go on those freaking illegal websites. You can do that for like these white companies, these white movies who got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to spend on these movies. You can do that with them. But for these black films that go to these theaters, we need you to go out there and go see it. Go see it, please. Just because I mean, Sinners, this is like a once in a lifetime thing, and it shouldn't be. We should get films like Sinners, and we should get more people like Ryan Coogler's and Issa Rae's funded more. So that's my last thing I want to say is like, let's make sure we're getting out to support physically these films, this music, these concerts. Like, if you can go do it to spend at, I hate to say this, but Target or all these other places that are owned by white people that have the capitalistic funds to throw away, you know, that film is not cheap. Ryan Coogler filmed it on, that's film. That shit's not cheap. So I want to just emphasize, we don't see the casting directors, the editors, the photographers, the actors. They put their lives and their souls into these films, and they deserve to be supported by our dollars, by our retweets, by our posts, by everything. So I just want to put that out there.
Yes. Support blackness as a whole. Let's give it back to our black communities, please.
If you're not gonna put money into it, give a follow, give a like, give a comment.
Something.
Everything helps.
Please. But we'll leave y'all with that. I appreciate y'all tuning in today, and thank you again, Asia, for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Yes, y'all stay tuned for the next episode, and see y'all in the next one.
Yes.
Peace.
Yay! We did it, Joe.